Is NASCAR giving 2311 Racing an unfair advantage? 3 for 3 already for the year. They're going for 4 for 4. It's never been done before for 3 for 3, let alone 4 for 4. This is a really crazy time in NASCAR, especially for the driver and team that doesn't get this many wins in a year. So that's the new conspiracy going around on this week's episode.
Get your tinfoil hats.
Welcome back, everybody, to ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB, Zach Brown, and joining with me, as always, is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief and mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. We are in conspiracy territory now with NASCAR. This is all for fun and games, and it's just fun to discuss, and it's led to a lot of online things with all the fans in NASCAR because somehow SVG was not the fastest car at COTA. It was the second fastest car. Yeah. But the fastest car by far was
he might not have been the second fastest car. He was the second fastest driver.
Yeah, the fastest car all day long was Tyler Reddick. So he is the first driver in NASCAR's history to win the first 3 races of a season. A lot of people were confused. They're like, well, didn't Richard Petty win 10 in a row? Yes, he's won 10 in a row one of the years, but it was not the first 10 races. He did not win the first 3 in a row. This is the first time it's ever been done, and this goes way back to 1949. Yeah. So all of this is uncharted territory we're in right now, going to a track where, I mean, Denny Hamlin, 2311, one of those got a good shot to win it too. Yeah. And it's our purpose here isn't to say yes for sure if they're cheating or not, but it is fun to discuss it. So we'll dive into COTA right now and talk about that later on. We will discuss what we just saw at Volusia. Some more good racing there. Mm-hmm. So there's that will finish up. And then we'll get into our NASCAR fantasy and our race picks for this weekend's race at Phoenix. COTA is a very interesting track. They changed the format once again, or the layout of the track once again. I kind of liked this, the way it was laid out this time.
It was a much shorter track this time.
Yeah, and there's a couple, I think there are 2 longer straightaways now, as opposed to mainly just one.
That's probably better for the heavier cars, I would think.
Yeah, this was the first time they did the higher horsepower for a road course. I didn't notice too much of a difference. I know that tires were wearing out a little bit earlier than they usually do. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there was anything too significant. You might have seen some tire spin going through some of the tight turns when you accelerate. But overall, not much of a difference from what I could really tell. I haven't really heard anything from the drivers, what they've been saying. The
biggest thing was the heat. There was a lot of drivers that had issues.
Track temperature was almost 110 degrees. It was just a bright, sunny day, no cloud in sight.
Probably 130 or so inside that car.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if it was actually really hot outside, though? I mean, it was only 80 degrees. It wasn't anything crazy that we've seen. Could be hotter in Phoenix this weekend. That's where Joey Logano probably was happy he shaved his head. Now it's a lot cooler for him now. The coolest thing about COTA is when they do the restarts and they go to that funnel turn.
Yeah, that's neat.
And how many times Colin Zilich was going to get taken out going into that on a restart? That poor kid, he drove up through the field twice and just to get spun.
Yeah, yeah, he was everything we expected him to be. The first probably third of the race or so, he was just kind of there. Then all of a sudden, he kind of got his rhythm, and then he was just mowing cars down there for a while. At one point, he might have been the fastest car on the track.
He was doing that in the O'Reilly race as well. He had a brake issue, had to come in, and he was coming up through the field like he was passing people in slow, like they were in slow motion. He and Corey Day got together. And the funny thing is they're good buddies, but he was all pissed off and he was kind of putting on a show. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna fight.
Yeah.
they're pretty good friends. Corey Day was impressive in the
Yeah,
O'Reilly
he
race. He
did
did
good.
well,
He
but
needs to maybe not get into so much controversy as he's been, but he's a rookie in the series, first full time season, so he'll learn. He's a dirt track racer. It's going to be he'll learn you got to kind of race a little different on the asphalt.
yeah, he's still looking solid to me.
Yeah,
I am
he's
liking
got
what
a
I
lot of
see.
talent.
Yeah. That's really the next Larson based on what he. I mean, he can drive
That's
everything.
that's the general comparison. So we'll see.
But yeah, so 2311 specifically, Tyler Reddick just dominating this entire year, dominated at Coda. Um, I mean, he first of all he kept the car really clean there. He took care of that car. Completely opposite what happened in Atlanta. But this is where you get into the discussions now. It's like, all right, this whole lawsuit that happened in the offseason with Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan versus 2311, and as much headlines as that was making and the headaches that NASCAR got from and it turned out to be a win more or less for 2311. And now all of a sudden they've won the first three races of the year. Everybody's like, all right, well, NASCAR, you can hide it a little bit better.
Yeah.
To market even more, the point standings, if you saw the top two in the point standings, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace.
Yeah.
Like, can we be a little bit more discreet about this, NASCAR?
Well, here's the thing. It's like okay, say if NASCAR wanted to do it, how would you do it? Well, they're restricting the power on these things anyway, so you give 2311 little better tapered spacer than the other teams. It's nothing to knock a couple 100 pounds off your car. I mean, it can easily be done because there was times that certain people won when we had the restrictor plates under the carburetor. Be like, here's your restrictor plate, here's your restrictor plate, here, Dale, here's yours.
And
I mean,
and
can we
when
prove
Junior,
it? No. Is it possible?
like one of
Absolutely.
them is one of the conspiracies, and this is where we can talk about the conspiracies that have happened throughout NASCAR and what everybody's talked about. Junior coming back to Daytona in July, the year that his dad died, and he won, and it was just it wasn't really fair. That's one. Junior winning the Daytona 500 in 2004 when Budweiser had their special paint scheme, and I think it might have been Budweiser's anniversary or something. That one kind of seemed a little fishy. There's a bunch of them that you could. A lot of them seem to
Sure.
be.
I mean, it's
You can. I mean, you can. That's what the fun thing about conspiracies is. You can talk about it all you want. You're never going to be able to prove it, especially with
is it
NASCAR.
possible? Sure, it's possible. Is it
Yeah,
an awful coincidence? Yeah, that's an extreme coincidence.
yeah, and
Especially after Atlanta when he won without the front end on the car in a drafting track. The only way to overcome that, horsepower.
yeah, I mean that's true. It's just weird. Tyler Reddick, I don't even know if he's ever won 3 wins in an
Yeah.
entire season before, let alone this early on. Um, I don't think they can keep. There's no way he wins this. There is zero chance they could have Tyler Reddick win this weekend because everybody will get some red flags now. Because it's
Here's the whole thing
understandable.
with this conspiracy. Say they give him a little bit, he still has to go out and win it. They're not. The other teams aren't letting him
Yeah.
win. So
And that's what I'm not saying NASCAR is giving them the wins. We're saying,
yeah,
is it an advantage that they're
yeah.
giving them?
I,
We'll never know.
no.
We will never know. Now, Bubba Wallace goes out there and wins this weekend. All right, we're getting some issues now.
Or more importantly, Riley Herbst.
Well, that's we're getting a little.
Man, they can
Riley
give him
Herbst did
200 more
finish.
horsepower.
Riley Herbst did all 2311 got top 10 of the Daytona 500. I mean,
Yeah.
one was destroyed, but regardless, but it top of the point standings right now, and it's those two. I mean, maybe for the rest of the year you won't hear anything about them. We don't know.
Yeah.
Always the fun thing to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless, he still went out there and beat the best in the business at road courses. SVG and SVG. That was his worst road course out of all of them.
Yeah.
And when I mean worse, he just hasn't.
But here's the thing: Tyler Reddick is a really good road course racer as it
Yeah.
is.
Well,
He's
if
won a
there's
winner
any,
at that track, so I mean, it's not like it's out of the question that he won that race.
yeah, if there's any way to get away with if they wanted to give an advantage, it's on 2 drafting tracks and a road course.
Yeah,
And
sure.
then it's like, oh no, it's just a crapshoot regardless.
Yeah,
Anyways, we digress on that. You everybody be a judge for yourself. Comment, is there some sort of thing going on you think with 2311 in NASCAR at this point? It'll never get proven. Just a fun topic to talk about. But now we're going to Phoenix this weekend. It's a doubleheader between NASCAR and IndyCar.
yeah.
IndyCar is returning to Phoenix after about 5 years. I want to say
Been a while.
they've been off for a few years.
That'll be neat. Indy cars around Phoenix are going to fly around that track.
They do. They go really. And it's I think it's the first time since they've reconfigured it with the start finish line on the other side of the track now,
Oh, okay.
where
I
it's
know
there.
Larson was out there testing before he went to his
Yep.
first Indy 500. So and he was flying around that.
See,
track.
that'd have been cool if they could get Larson in an Indy car this weekend and have a doubleheader weekend.
Yeah,
That'd have been cool to see. I think they need to do more doubleheaders between IndyCar and NASCAR and have more.
especially since they're both on Fox right now.
Yeah, I mean that now you can't. Now it's easy to do that. No different TV rights, and maybe that's something they might work towards. Especially if they can get people. If they can get NASCAR drivers, I mean, that doesn't even have to be Larson, but you get, I don't know, Kyle Busch into one of them. You get Christopher Bell. I'd like to see Christopher Bell in an Indy car. That'd be really cool to see.
Tyler Reddick's got the right size to jump into an Indy car.
They all do. They're all tiny. Except
well, here's the thing. You got Chevys and Hondas. So, I mean, it's probably going to be a Chevy driver more than likely that would.
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of saying Kyle Busch, because he was actually the one that was supposed to have that Indy 500 ride. Then Larson was the one that ended up getting it.
Yeah.
So that maybe down the road they can do that. I'd like to. I'd definitely like to. That'd be interesting to see. This would be fun for a whole weekend at Phoenix. I mean,
that'd be a good trip.
You've got a bunch of racing. You've got the O'Reilly Series there too with Indy cars, and I think that's the doubleheader on Saturday, and then Sunday is the Cup race.
Yeah.
And now this is no longer the season finale and no longer the championship race. So this just kind of looks ahead to I believe it is in the chase.
Right.
So kind of get tuned for that. But now you still got to be consistent. You've got to have good races. Larson, he's 15th in points right now. So that's one driver that has to get some more consistency. And he's probably very thankful after last week getting a good finish because the first 2 races did not go his way.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty decent track for him. I mean, he's won the championship twice here now at this track. Generally, I don't even know if he's ever won Phoenix, but he has.
He's usually good, but not great.
I expect Ford and Toyota to be good here. That's generally what you see. I think that's really all to look for, and then we're going to do our NASCAR fantasy, give our picks, and then we'll talk about Volusia and the next.
We also got the Indy cars from St. Pete.
Oh yeah, well, there's nothing to recap. Alex Palou won again by only like 12 seconds.
Shock face.
Don't be shocked. He's established himself. He's going to go down by the end of his career as one of the all-time greats.
I would think so.
He's just too good.
Because they were saying that he's not all that good on street courses. Well, he only won by 14 seconds or whatever it was. So I guess it is.
Yeah. That he's going to win another championship this year. I think that'd be 3 or 4 in a row if he won that. I guess this must be kind of like outside looking in when everybody saw Jimmy Johnson winning the 5 championships in a row. It's like, okay, just win another championship. That's cool. So it's kind of
when you got it going, you got it going. I mean, it's just
but it happens in everything. I mean, for a long time, Formula One, Michael Schumacher was the one that he went out and beat everybody. Then it turned to Lewis Hamilton, and then it turned to
Max Verstappen.
Yeah, Verstappen. And it might still be, I don't follow Formula One, but IndyCar, it's no different. I mean, there's always somebody that's dominating. Scott Dixon for his time dominated a bunch. But yeah. yeah, the truck race was at St. Pete, and I didn't get to catch that. I
I
saw
didn't see it either. I don't like. I didn't catch when it was on. I missed that whole thing.
I saw
So
some clips from Steve Post. I follow him
yeah,
on TikTok. He was at St. Pete. He was there for the doubleheader. So that was cool to see, and I saw clips and pieces from it. They definitely don't get around like the Indy cars do there. That's for dang sure. But I think it's time to get into our NASCAR fantasy lineups. I actually have to um, upload what you sent me. Um, and I did okay last week. JD is the one that won. And
I had the most points I probably ever had in a week, and I still got third.
yeah, it was where where did it download to?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna drag it over here and just put that right there. All right, well, where are the standings? It's crazy. I didn't even look at the standings that we have.
Mom's winning.
Well, I'm sure. Dadgummit,
We're actually all pretty close.
that's not what I meant. Um, why don't you want to just be nice to me? Oh, okay. She's winning by 12 over me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are pretty close. 578 to 566 and 542, and JD's at 500. But he had a dominating week,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah. He kicked our ass on that one.
but this one, like we like to think it's a little bit more straightforward. But I will go ahead and start it off this week. So NASCAR Fantasy heading to Phoenix. Here's my lineup. I have Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, and in the garage I have Ross Chastain. The featured matchups they have this week: Tyler Reddick versus Kyle Larson. I have Tyler Reddick, not jinxing shit this week. Ryan Blaney versus Christopher Bell. I have Blaney over Bell. Denny Hamlin versus Joey Logano. I have Denny over Bald Thunder. And Ross Chastain versus Chris Buescher. I have Ross Chastain on that one.
Cool.
Go ahead with your lineup.
All right. So in my garage, my starters are Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. I got Kyle Larson in this week. William Byron, he's been fast all year. Chase Briscoe, and in the garage, got the other Chase Elliott. So I do have Larson over Tyler Reddick. Like you discussed, there's no way Tyler Reddick's going to do that good 3 times in a row. So congratulations, Tyler, on four wins because I picked against you. So Ryan Blaney over Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin over Joey Logano, and I also have Ross Chastain over Chris Buescher.
Well, to give our picks this week. Now, listen, I don't think Tyler Reddick wins 4 in a row. That's not going to happen. Tyler Reddick is not going to get his 4th win in a row because there's going to be too many question marks if NASCAR were that to happen. And we've seen this industry for far too long to know better than for them to raise too many red flags there. However, my pick for this week was involved in the lawsuit over in the offseason. And this wouldn't even be a shocker if he wins here because he is really good here. He had the shot to win the race. He had the fastest car in the fall to win the championship, and just everything just fell apart at the end and did not go his way. But Denny Hamlin to win at Phoenix is my pick.
Okay. I don't disagree, but I don't have the same pick. He won the fall race in Phoenix, but did not win the championship. So I got Ryan Blaney, who always runs good there. Mom's pick is Joey Logano.
Well, at least we're all a little bit different this week.
Yep.
I like that. I really do think it's a Ford versus Toyota this weekend. I mean, Chevy's okay here. They just generally aren't the fastest, and for the longest time,
Well,
Chevy's been trying.
Chevy's got that new nose or whatever the hell they put on the car. So
yeah, it's a Camaro-esque look, and they're trying to figure out. And I think Chevy is developing a new sedan this year that's supposed to be unveiled for next year, and that's probably what NASCAR will adopt. I haven't heard too much more about that, but I know they're working on something. I want to touch on Volusia this weekend. I believe is the Gainesville Nationals for NHRA, if I'm not mistaken, right?
This weekend?
I think it is, and we don't need to preview it. We'll recap everything.
Yeah.
Um, I,
Yeah, March 5th through the 8th.
Yep. So that's this week. So looking forward to getting back for some drag racing. Uh, it'll be interesting for sure, especially when Tony is going to be going against his wife now, and that will
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
fun.
there's been a lot of driver shakeups in NHRA, so it's going to be a little bit of an interesting year.
And Austin Prock trying to make it 3 championships in a row for Funny Car, so he's
Yeah.
going to
He's
go
in
ahead.
the Ford now, so we can't no longer root for him.
Is he still?
Which are all Hemis anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's just the body style is what they have on there. It's just the logo that they have painted on there. But Volusia just finished up their second weekend, so the Outlaws have completed their first 4 races, 5 races, whatever they had. First 2 weeks of their season, because they had their first one about a month ago, and they got into this one. Now they get onto a steady weekly basis. The first night was a fan favorite that won. Sheldon won the first night
with his new team. Good run for Sheldon. That was good to see.
He was running good in the second race too, but shoot, the Concrete King does it again in the biggest night again.
Which is funny, just real quick. Anthony Macri is second in points, 2 behind David Gravel.
How the hell's David Gravel in the lead though?
Yeah.
I don't think Macri's running the full outlaw schedule.
No, I was just curious. I thought maybe Macri might be the lead. So it's David Gravel, 2 points behind Macri, then 8 points behind is Carson Macedo. So
okay,
that's pretty interesting. That was
Gravel did have that DNF, so that makes it a little bit closer this year.
You know what? Macri came up, and I think he passed him both his wins down at Volusia this year. Because Gravel started ahead of him and he ran him down.
I will say the racing was slightly worse the second go around, but
it started getting a little rubber in the second night because they were all kind of huddled around the bottom.
That track was slick though. I don't think I've ever seen Gravel have his wing back, especially that far.
Yeah,
and that he had that tucked the whole way back, and yeah, I'm just like that track's slick. You could tell when it's dusty when the cameras even start picking up some of the dust too, and it's like at what's the track?
Attica.
Yeah. That's kind of starting. It was starting to look like that a little bit at the end.
There was passing. You know what?
It was good racing. Yeah.
Pennsylvania cars. Ashton Torkelson got second. Darren Pittman got fifth. I think there might have been another one in there yet.
I think there was obviously Macri winning, but
yeah, Macri. I was thinking there was 4. Maybe it was 4 out of the top 6.
That and that so they start at Port this week, I believe. The Port openers this week, Port Royal. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, so they'll be right.
Lincoln did get their opening race in on
Chase Dietz won,
and Chase Dietz won.
I think Chase Dietz did he win the championship at Lincoln?
I believe so.
Yeah. So there's a lot of already good start for the Outlaws this year. The crowd looked really good. Bike Week's going to bring in a lot of people. We said that.
But the racing's been. I mean, like I said, if you're not a dirt fan, tune in or at least watch the replays the next morning. It's the racing's great.
And if anything's to say that the Outlaws can dominate anymore, I think the Pennsylvania guys have proven it wrong. And also, you don't have to have the multi-million-dollar equipment and everything. I mean, I know Macri's stuff's pretty solid, but I mean, you've got Pittman and Christ.
Everybody's as solid anymore. That's
but it goes to show you that if you just have the right people doing, being able to put your drivers in the right place. Shoot, I think if that was a 30, 35 lap race, Pittman would have had a shot to come up because I think he had a harder tire on, because you saw it just start
a little longer. It would have been the 1A would have won that race. He was really flying.
Yeah, it's something about that. I think those drivers, because the other ones were starting to fade. It's like they had a little bit of softer tire. I think a slighter, softer tire was the right way to go because it was only 25 laps. I think they were expecting it to be even slicker than what it was, and just Just didn't kick until I think about
Started getting a
lap
little rubber
16.
down.
It was good. It was good racing. Well, got a new graphic, so make sure you guys do this because it's about to pop up, and I just feel like I'm cool because I can do stuff like this. So do this. Hit the like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube. Hit all of that stuff. Follow on TikTok and on Spotify exclusively, and follow the Facebook page too. We continue to release content, specifically on the TikTok page. We continue to release content. New episodes every Friday. So I thought that was pretty freaking slick looking. So thank you, AI, for doing some cool stuff. We will see you guys not next Friday. We will release some content, but we're not going to have a full episode because we are going on vacation. So we'll have a little bit of vacation. So I'll be down. We'll all be down there with the kids in a couple days. So we'll see you in a couple days and see everybody in a couple weeks for the next full episode.
All right. Bye, everybody.